Hi everybody, I'm here to just show you these journals and the progress that I've made on them so far. I added some signatures to the smaller journal and I added a few pockets to the larger one. So the smaller one I added signatures that can be pulled out, so I did the elastic signatures in there. And I also used some prints from my porch prints that I added to my kit. So it's my kit in there and my porch prints kit in this book. And I like the way that it turned out. I decided to cover the spine with this ribbon and mesh. And then I added that bumblebee to the front. On this one, I added some lace to the spine where the signatures were sewn in. So I thought it was cute to do that and not to cover up the entire spine, but it still covers up the holes. And then when you open it up, there are pockets on the front cover and on the back cover that I added the bumblebees to, just corner pockets. I also added that lace that is on the spine to some of the signature pages at the top of the signatures, but I felt like there was still something missing, so I decided that I'm just going to hop on here and add a little bit of stenciling with my gesso. I'm going to use this Tim Holtz stencil. We've used it before in past videos, and I'm going to use it to add some more details to this journal. Just going to grab my palette knife and my gesso. It doesn't take a whole lot of gesso, and I'm going to gently smooth it on there. Guess it took me a minute. So I'm going to be adding it on different areas of the journal, different sections. I'm not going to cover the whole thing up, but I will be putting enough on there that it will be throughout the journal cover. And I'm going to add some more. I'm just speeding up the video so that you guys can see the process a little quicker. I'm using a wet wipe to get it off of the places that maybe a little too much got on there and I just didn't want it in a certain spot. So it's good to have those wet wipes or a wet cloth nearby. Just adding more, that stencil. And then I will let this dry and I will do the rest of it off camera and be right back. Alright, so it's all dry and I went ahead and did some on the spine, which seems to be out of frame, and on the back. And I'm going to now use my Distress Oxides. I'm using the Wild Honey and Vintage Photo, just stamping them on my desk here and using a water pen to get them wet, and I'm going to use them as like a watercolor. And I'm going to color all of those stenciled honeycombs with the wild honey first, just one at a time, to add some color to these. I will also be speeding up this process in just a minute so that you guys can see the process without it taking a long time. It probably took me about a half an hour to color each one of these individually, but it's well worth it. A half hour is not much time. It actually went pretty quickly. So I hope everyone's having a good week. If anyone has any questions after watching this video, please comment below, and I will be happy to answer any questions that I'm able to answer. Oh, there you can see the honeycombs on the spine right there better. You couldn't see them earlier. I put it on the back. I didn't have to use a lot of that distress ink. It goes a long ways. And my water brush is one of those ones that you fill up with water and you just squeeze a little bit of water out to the brush end when you need it. So that's where the water is coming from. Now I'm just going through and putting a little more yellow in places where I feel like it's a little light. Needs to show up better. And I'm doing the same process throughout the journal. Now I'm going to go through with the vintage photo and add a little bit of highlights to each honeycomb. So, has anybody started making a bee journal? If you have, I would love for you to share your progress with us. We also have a Facebook group that you can join, and you can share your photos there if you'd like. I will post a link to the Facebook group in my description below this video. So I'm just adding more of the brown vintage photo, and when I'm finished that, I will let that dry and I will be back. So I'm just showing you how that looks. The light's a little bit, looks like it's washing it out a little bit. It's hard for you guys to see all the detail, but it does put a little bit of contrast there between the yellow and the vintage photo to add just more interest. I thought it turned out pretty well, but I still felt like there was something missing. So as you will see in just a minute, I come back and show you that I am adding another detail after this is dry. So now I'm back and I am adding some gold paint to add more highlights to those honeycombs and to also give it more contrast. So it's a little darker than the vintage photo, added a little bit of contrast, but it kind of was more diluted, I guess, it almost blended too much with the yellow, so I just felt like it needed a little more contrast, and I decided to use this gold color. It's acrylic paint, and any acrylic gold paint would work. So I'm just going through and adding that detail to each and every one of them. I'm not going to do all of them on camera, but I will come back when it's done and dry and show you the results. Alright, so I'm back. They're all done and dry, and I love the way that it turned out. It added a lot of depth to those honeycombs. And the gold is very shiny. I just think it looks really well done. And I love the way that the stenciling added that detail that was missing to the cover of the journal. Tell me what you guys think below. Do you like the adage, or did you like it better before? I just think it adds a lot of character and adds that missing touch that it needed. So thank you for joining me. I will be adding a closure to this next time and a few more details, so stay tuned. Bye.